How you
Okay.
doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. I'm trying to wake up.
Yeah, Zach was like, "Look,
Where
I just
where are
woke
you?
up."
Are you home?
Yeah, I'm home. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
back
sweet.
home.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
How you
So
feeling,
first of
bro?
all,
Yeah,
oh,
go
for
ahead.
sure. I want to give y'all an introduction to Zach. So me and Zach's been friends for a little bit over a year now. We found each other on TikTok, and we both figured out that we are trying to be on the same journey. And we've shared a little bit with each other. We've encouraged each other from time to time, and I've decided I have such a great community in general, but live community for sure, that I'm gonna start Journey Talks, and I figured why not bring on my guy Zach, and let's see kind of where this goes, how he feels after, and we can keep going, and then maybe later on down the road, 3 to 6 months down the road, we can bring him back when he's further along on his journey. And so first, Zach, I just want to ask you, uh, introduce yourself, tell us how old you are, and how much weight you're down so far.
My name is Zach. Your boy is 29. We almost at 30. Not quite, but we getting there. And so far, so I started my weight loss journey last May. I'm down 170 pounds since. So it's been a ride, man. It has for sure, but we getting there.
And that's crazy. 170 pounds down in about 14, 15 months now, which is absolutely crazy. Give me one big positive that you've taken away from it, and
hmm
what's one thing that has been like probably the hardest thing to go through for you
hmm
on it this journey so far?
Um, for me, I want to say the hardest thing for me has probably really been trying to just stay the course, man. Honestly, it's as you probably know this, when you're trying really hard to do something as big as this, life will throw everything at you and try to distract you and knock you off your horse, you know what I mean? And sometimes it does, sometimes it will. It'll knock you on your butt for real. But learning to get back up, has been the biggest thing for me. Um, and as far as like one of my big positives, is like I do this for me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like I know like I'm better in my life because I want to, because all the other times in my life I've tried losing weight, I've tried doing it for other people. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of that is probably why I didn't succeed. Um, but so learning how to like be patient with myself and things like that's always a positive. But sharing my journey has been so crazy because I just wanted to be a light to somebody. And seeing all these people who will like show up for me every day, it's like it's almost become so much bigger than me now. And it gives me so much of a push to just like, dude, I could never go back. I can't tell you I'll never fall off. I'll never have a bad day. I'll never slip up, but I will never give this up. And that's been the biggest thing for me, for real.
Yeah, and I'm sure it kind of, because I'm sure you have people every day who you see who always come back to check on you. Like
Always.
they'll check on you every post. They probably send you messages. Like
Mhm.
they probably do all of that. And tell me, how does that make you feel in a sense of like you have people who show up for you every single day and look for your inspiration?
It's been a slippery slope for me. Um, I know me and you have talked like in private about some things, like a little bit of like past stuff. And it's been hard to navigate for me because, and I don't say this to sound like sappy, it's just really how it's been for me. You know, growing up and pretty much up until I started sharing my weight loss journey with the world, like I never felt like I had that support. Even in like real life, I've never really had that many friends. I'm not saying I've never had like some people in my corner. I'm always blessed with, a couple people, but it's hard, it's overwhelming, but like in the most positive like way. You know what I'm saying? Like I sometimes I don't know what to really make of it, you know. So that's been really tricky for me to navigate through, but it's the biggest blessing for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, and sometimes it can get to a point to where you, if we're kind of used to letting ourselves down, right? Like,
Yeah,
in a way, we're used to letting ourselves down. But
yeah,
when there's so many people and have so many eyes on us, you look and you're like, man, obviously you don't want to let yourself down, but now you have over 100,000 people just on TikTok who follow you, and you don't want to let them down either, in a sense.
no,
So mentally, it can get to where, like, it can get hard some days because you don't feel like doing it, but you're like, man, if I don't do it today, I'm going to let down this person or that person who's always coming to check out my inspiration
mm-hmm,
day by day.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. That can be a very overwhelming pressure at times, you know. So I will say something that has like kind of helped me navigate through that is, and I think when I approached my journey and like wanting to share with people, you know, I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't sugarcoat anything, I wouldn't hide anything, and I would try to be as transparent as I possibly could. And within that, you know, as much as there is that pressure to almost be perfect or want to be perfect in a sense, right? I've learned that, you know, the appreciation you will actually get from people from, you know, like not that we want to slip up and have like bad moments, but like whenever we do and we bring it to people like, hey, you know, like this happened and I don't know what to do from here. People respect that so much, man, because I've realized like within doing this journey, there's so many people who aren't transparent, you know, and I think at the end of the day, man, people just want to see something real for once. And I think that will go a long way, you know, because it went from like, oh, like I have to be perfect to, you know, sometimes I almost look for problems. Like not intentionally, but like, you know, it's kind of like I can't wait to see, you know, have somebody see me bounce back from this. You know what I mean? I kind of get that sense about it. I don't know, it
Yes.
just drives me like that sometimes, man. But of
Yeah.
course, I do have days where it's like, you know, you seen like my last weigh-in video, like where the scale only moved like a couple pounds in like a good span of time, and I'm just like, do I tell everybody this? But like, of course, you know, that's what I'm here for. But you have those thoughts. It's like, shit, you know, it's hard.
You get scared. It's. I posted about it the other day. Like, why is it when we go to share our successes, we're so
Hmm.
excited, but when we go to share our downfalls or where we mess up at, it's like, you don't want to share it, but it's because that's the part of vulnerability that people are gonna love about your journey.
Hmm.
Like you getting on and posting about struggles with the scale, right? We have to learn in our hearts that that scale sometimes is gonna beat us down. But
Yeah,
you look at how you're walking now. You look at how you're moving now. Like you
yeah.
look at just all the different ways that I'm sure when you wake up and get up out of bed now, it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as
Oh
it did
no,
last May. Like,
absolutely.
so you just have to look at those things and be like, the scale's messing with me right now, but you look at how far you came and it's like, man, I can't pay attention to that scale all the time. We use it as a big motivator, but we also need to look at how much our life has changed overall. And
Yeah.
something I want to ask you is last May, what was your moment that told you if you didn't do it now, it might be too late?
So for me, man, honestly, it was just I would say between so building up to May, I would say between like December and like March, April. I've spent many times in and out of the hospital. I had, I mean, I still have it, but you know, lymphedema in my legs, and it was still a new idea to me. Like I didn't know about lymphedema or anything about it. so I got cellulitis and sepsis quite a bit, and it was just so exhausting, man. I remember laying in the hospital bed and thinking to myself like, this might be it for me. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, bro. And I specifically remember this feeling like I'll never be able to shake it. It just broke me down. And I knew in that moment, like, I might not even make it to 30, right? I mean, granted, for people like us, like, unfortunately, tomorrow ain't promised. I mean, for nobody it is, but, especially people like us, super high risk with everything. So tomorrow ain't even promised. So will I make it to 30? And I don't know, bro. It shifted something in me. I hate that sometimes people like us have to hit a rock bottom like that, because you always, I'm sure you see these comments, why you wait so long, bro? It, and if you don't live it, you just don't know. You don't know. But that was really it for me, man. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life like that, you know? It was too much. It was too sad, and I can't go out like that, big dog. I feel like I've come this far for what? You know? It can't be it for me. It can't be. What about you though? What was your big moment? Because I'll be, what I'm saying? Like, I know with like our history and stuff, because we've been friends. Like, I know that you've been on this battle a long time as well. Like, this isn't your first go around with it. So, like, for you, what changed this time for you? Because like I've seen you before do this, man, but like I know this time around, dog. Like I've always believed in you, but I know this time you believe in yourself,
Yeah.
and that's a difference.
Yeah, that is the difference. Is I think it was leading up to my 25th birthday in March, and all I could like worry about is like I don't want to, man, I don't want to die. Like I just want to make it to 25. That's all I thought every night when I went to sleep. I was like, I don't want my heart to give up on me. I don't want my body to give up on me. Like I just want to live to 25. And then I made it to 25 and I celebrated, but that feeling didn't leave. Like the feeling of me being scared I was going to go to sleep and die never left me. And then
Yeah.
April I had a big health scare. Um and I kind of got super depressed, super sad, and I just decided I had talked with a few of my friends, um really family. I call them friends, but they're more like family to me. And we were like, all right, let's get back on the wagon. But the difference this time is like we're not giving up. Like the difference this time is we're not gonna have a time where we can be depressed and in our head, and we're gonna fight through whatever comes. And I ain't gonna lie, there's been 2 or 3 times in the past 3 months that I've gotten super down and super depressed, but we went through it. I talked it out, and we made it through. But I don't ever want to spend another birthday praying that my body doesn't give out on me.
Yeah.
So there's no other way to do that than to change. And that was my big moment. So I feel like if you talk to most people in our position, that's the biggest change that someone can go through is being scared of death. Like because once you get to that point, I feel like you either accept that it's going to happen
Hmm.
or you decide, okay, I have to change with it. And that's why I want to say I'm so proud of you because with me, I get on live every day, right? And I have people kind of tell me over and over again, like, you're doing good, you're doing good. And I know they do that with you too on your platform, but you get up every day and just you grind and you do it. And I know I'll get to that point eventually, but I feel like I need live to help push me some days. But
Yeah.
I do feel like I'm getting to the point to where I can sort of push myself a little bit more than needing live to push me or something like that. There is one thing that I feel like may have amped you up a little bit, and that was Jelly Roll reaching out to you and his team working with you. So talk to me about when you got that text or phone call and what that meant to you.
Oh man, first of all, I want to say thank you because I am extremely proud of you as well. You literally inspire me every single day, bro. Um, the Jelly Roll thing. So he sometime last year, I want to say around June of last year, he had commented on my video, and I made like a little reply to it or whatever, and it was a cool like little moment. I didn't think nothing else was gonna like come of it, and then around April this year, somebody from his team, an ultra runner who was training him actually for the 5K that he did, he reached out to me and told me that, Jelly had been watching me this past, like, however long it had been. And so they reached out to me. They hooked me up with a meal prep delivery service, Icon Meals. They've been sending me meals like every single week. But even further than that, though, like I mean, shoot, man, like they've hooked me up with a personal trainer, like a nutritionist, this dude named Ian Larios. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's the man. He works with UFC people, and I check in with him daily. Like send him everything I'm eating and like whatnot. So that way he can give me adjustments, like, hey, let's try this or too much of this. Like whatever. It's just good, like to have some real guidance because up until this, honestly, like not that I wasn't doing good, but I'm like a chicken running around with his head cut off. Like I'm just trying to figure all this out, and it's good to have a sense of direction now. So it's almost like they put a battery in my back, dude. Like it really just took my life to like the next level with this weight loss journey. It's
That's
truly been a blessing.
awesome. I remember you announcing it, and I'm like, that's so cool. And to think though, that means he watched you for however many months just to watch and see, and he's seen how consistent you were, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna take a chance.
Yeah,
And I know anybody taking a chance on you means a lot, but especially I'm sure that his music has helped you get through so much.
oh yeah,
So him taking a chance on you probably gave you that motivation of like, okay, now it's time to kick it into overdrive.
absolutely, yeah, man. It really did. It changed everything for me, truly. And I don't know what this means, but they keep telling me every couple of weeks, like, hey, keep going, big dog, because bigger things are in store. Whatever that means, I'm here for it, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited. But yeah, no, like you were talking about, um, having eyes on you in general. I was thinking back to a minute ago what you were saying. Like, how do you deal with that pressure?
Um, I look at it as 95% a blessing, 5% a curse.
Okay.
That's the way I look at it because there's so many people across so many platforms that believe in me that it's like I'm blessed beyond measure. But then when you step on a scale like I did this week and you're up 17 pounds, well, then you're kind of like, okay, how is this gonna go? Like, how are they gonna feel about this, and
Yes.
how are they gonna react? And I think sometimes that's what I mess up on is how are they gonna react versus how do I genuinely feel? Like, and I feel like my emotion and my feeling goes off of them. So if they're happy for me, I'm happy.
Yeah.
If they're whatever they feel, I feel like I feel. When I have to learn to separate my emotions from, okay, they feel this way, but I feel this way, and it's okay that they feel this way. Because in reality, I wasn't really that upset with the 17-pound gain just based off the eating I did on vacation, the water retention that probably happened, the higher activity that I had on vacation. Like, all of that I think came into play with it, and I do think we'll see that reflected this week with the scale. I do. I think we'll see another big drop,
Yeah,
and um, but I think that I mean I've had people text me and tell me that like I help them with their weight, that I help them with their nicotine habits. I've even had two or three people who have cancer who've messaged me and said that I make it easier for them to fight through their journeys every day. And so that's that's the kind of stuff that pushes me every day to alcohol. Like that's the type of stuff that pushes me every day to get on here and push more. And it makes the moments that I weigh in and I'm heavier, or the days I don't feel like working out, it makes those days a little bit easier because of the genuine support system that I have.
for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, man, that's a big part of it for real. Because I've noticed that within my own self is just like I will dictate how I'm feeling a lot of times based on the reaction. Because it's so easy to get caught up in this when you're doing it every single day like this. Like you kind of sometimes you kind of get on like a little autopilot, right? Like you just go, 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 and then it does. Sometimes we will let it dictate how we feel. That it's crazy though, because I'm glad that you had said that because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that, and I think a lot of people experience that for real.
No, I think transparency is the biggest part of our journeys. Because
Absolutely.
if we share the good, then the bad is not like it's they're not going to understand truly what we go through.
Yeah,
Like, and so I think that's the biggest part is when we struggle. Like when you got on and said you weighed in and you had only lost a pound, but you probably thought you lost more. And
yeah,
so you're sitting there like, man, I felt bad about myself. I didn't know what to say, but I still wanted to get on here and tell y'all. And that type of transparency is great. And I think just continue with that because the more that you open up about your struggles, right? Like you got to think. So I think what your weight's around you're 480 now,
yeah. I'm at 480 right now.
right? So when you get under 450, right, and then when you get under four, we're gonna have to have a celebration
Oh
because,
yeah,
like, I know right now you're probably at your lowest weight in a long time, right? Because that's how I'm gonna be.
yeah,
When I lose that amount of weight, that's where I'm gonna be. So, like, you have to learn. Definitely take it for what it's worth, but celebrate too. Because if you don't celebrate, then you're not gonna realize. And that's the thing too. We have to learn ways to celebrate that aren't food.
yeah, yeah.
And
For real
like
though.
that's the hardest thing, right? Because
Yeah,
I'm
because
not
that's
gonna
always been our
lie.
go-to. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I get under 500 pounds, what's something? Whenever I think of celebrate, what do I think of? I think of food. That's what I think of. And so, just know that I want you to know I see you. I've seen how much you've done, and you deserve celebrating just as much as everybody does. And I think you kind of have put your head down and you're so focused. But I think it's big that when you get under 450, under 400, especially, that we celebrate. And I don't know what that celebration is going to be. I don't know if that's going to be me coming to you or us meeting in the middle or whatever it might be. But I truly think that we both have super great stories to tell. And
absolutely.
that's why I was like, you got to be my first person because we've been friends, like I said, for a little bit over a year now, and I've watched you keep going when I couldn't figure it out. And I always looked at you and I'm like, man, he's doing it. Like, what is the secret? And there's no secret. There's no secret. It's just consistency and pushing forward even when you don't want to. And that's going to bring me to the next question, which is probably something that we deal with the most that we don't talk about that much. Have you, since last May, had any slip ups when it comes to food? And if you have, how'd you bounce back from it?
Yeah, man. First of all, I love you, dog. You're the man.
Love you too.
We will celebrate. Bet that. Um, so yeah, bro. It's been a good minute, but I definitely have. I've had plenty of slip ups, because the thing with my situation, like my weight loss journey, I struggle with binge eating disorder, right? So like that's not necessarily like a switch in here that you just like flip off, you know? So yeah, like I've had plenty of times. Getting back on for me it was a bit easier since I've been sharing my journey, because I now have this support. Like these are the times where I say, how we were talking about like the blessing and the curse, right? To me, this is the times where it's been the biggest blessing for me because, I'll there's been times where like I've let myself go for like 3 or 4 days, right? Just on a binge and think nothing of it. And then I'll get on here and I'll see somebody like you was talking about, man. Like, 'cause I get the same comments like, hey, bro, I ain't on a weight loss journey, but like, I'm like 200 days sober. I don't usually don't comment, but I just had to let you know. I just it There's something like that in me. It just flips that switch for me back up, and it's like, okay, like what are we doing here? Like, gotta go. Um, because I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like if I didn't have that, I don't know. I don't know. I have confidence in myself, and I would like to sit here and tell you, like, yeah, bro. Even if I ain't had nobody, like, I'm gonna get it done. But would I? Because thus far, up until I started posting my journey, that ain't been the case. So that's it's good to have this to rely on. It really is. People in your corner means so much.
I think the key is to, and I don't know if you have this or don't, but it's when you get on those binges and when you get on those hard times that you have somebody to reach out to that is
Yeah,
super non-judgmental, like,
yeah,
and that, like, I have a few of those. And even then, having I just went through a time when I was on vacation where I slipped up a little bit, and I didn't tell anybody during the act of it, but then after, I ended up talking about it. And what's so crazy is I can sit with people and laugh about some of my habits and some of the ways I sneak and some of the ways I do stuff, because 90% of the time, the people who are closest to you and who support you are gonna know that you're slipping up before you even tell them
yeah.
that you've slipped up. Like, and so I
Sorry,
think,
people.
like, you're good. I think I'm coming to realize now I can get on here and work out every single day. Every single day. But if I don't get help for the food part of it, I'm never going to succeed fully,
Yeah,
because that's, I feel like I always throw that to the back burner and, like, kind of just be like, oh, I'll deal with that later. When if I don't ever get control of that fully,
hmm
I'm never going to succeed.
yeah,
Like, ever.
yeah. That I think people sleep on that, man. Like, yes, working out is great for you, but if we can't get that food under control, we only gonna go so far, and we might not go nowhere at all. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna get you far. It's really not because that's what got us here. It wasn't. It wasn't like not getting exercise, I mean, I won't lie to you. I was never really a very active kid, but I feel like even if I was, like, with my eating habits that I've developed through the years, I still, maybe not as big, but I still would have ended up being a big person. Like, I still would have ended up here. So the food got me here. So the food is the focus, Like, I believe that's like 95% of the whole thing here. And I slept on. It's very slept on.
It definitely is. I think that's why it's so big to hear you say like you've went 3 4 days right, and then you see a comment or somebody might message you or whatever might happen, and then you're like, okay, I gotta go. Like I gotta get back focused.
Yeah.
And there's been times where I've been working out like hard as ever, 3 hours a day, but then I eat 2 Wendy's meals. And when they say you can't outwork a bad diet, you can't.
No.
You could push yourself to exhaustion and eat over your caloric deficit, and it's not gonna matter. Like you're gonna gain, and it matters to a lot of people say, and I'd like to get your opinion on this. A lot of people say, "Oh, you can eat whatever and still lose weight." Like I've had people say, "Well, you can eat pizza and lose weight, and you can do this and lose weight." I think for somebody in our position, that's not necessarily true because, like, um, what is that? Oh, so if you put pizza in front of me, I'm only gonna be able to eat like half the pizza, right?
Yeah.
Like I can't just take a slice or two and be like, okay, I'm done. But if there's chicken, rice, vegetables, stuff like that, then I kind of know, like, okay, this is how you portion it out. This is what you should do. So, how do you
Yeah.
feel about people saying you could eat whatever and still lose weight?
So I'm gonna be all the way real with you, bro. I I feel like I see both sides of it. The reason I say that is like, okay, I feel like it's a matter of like you can't do that if you have a hard time getting a grip and learning to control yourself. Um, like, okay, like for example, I'll give you this. Now, when I first started this journey, I want to say like the first month, give or take. Um, like I told you, really I had no sense of direction, especially in the beginning of this. What really motivated me a little bit at first was learning about the calorie deficit. Now, within the calorie deficit, I'll be so real with you, and I've talked about this before on video, so like it's not extremely new. But bro, that first month, I dropped 37 pounds, and I won't lie to you, dog. I was still eating fast food almost every day, but I had to learn portion, right? Like, because that to me, like, just me personally, as somebody who is a food addict, I I find it hard to stay the course when you're overly restrictive. So at that time, my mindset was like, well, I can still have like all my favorite things. I just don't have to eat all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I can go to McDonald's and get me a McChicken, but like I don't have to go get 12 of them. Like there ain't no reason for me to be sitting there eating 12 McChickens. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, but I like them, so I can have like one, and I just include it in my calorie deficit. But even though I saw success with this, I'm not good at control.
Yeah.
So that was cool with me that first month. I was able to make it work for me. But I wasn't able to sustain that because I suck at control. And I found myself back eating them 12 McChickens, like whatever. So to me, it's like you can, but you really gotta have good control. Otherwise, you're setting yourself up for failure, I feel like.
Yeah.
But now I will say to me, that isn't to say that I do think periodically, And I don't mean like every other day or, maybe even further out than once a week, maybe once a month, right? I think you can still have some of your favorite foods, but you just got to be careful with it, and that's just been my experience with it. You know, um, it's all about that control
It
to
is.
me.
Do you do you think your control is better now than it
Yeah,
was last May?
it is. It's very much better. Granted, I still try not to dabble. Um, just because in my mind, I feel like I have no reason to. Um, like I explained earlier, like my team sends me food every week.
Right.
So, and you know how this is like on this journey, waking up every day, like, okay, what am I going to eat for breakfast? What about lunch? What dinner? I've been blessed with this, so I kind of have it laid out for me. I don't have to think too much into it. The only times I really find myself struggling with that nowadays is, in between, like maybe like my food's supposed to get here Monday, it don't get here till like Wednesday. Now I got like a 2 day gap of like, shit, what am I gonna eat? But like outside of that, I've been fortunate and like very blessed with not having to think about that lately. Um, so yeah, it's wild, man.
I It's good to hear that it gets better, because
Absolutely.
that's like when I went on vacation. The first 3 or 4 days went absolutely amazing, and even the last few days didn't go absolutely bad. Like I still had some self restraint, but not like what I should have. But it taught me that I'm gonna have to get therapy for like for my food
Mhm.
problems. Like I'm gonna have to get therapy for that,
Have you
and that's
looked
what's
into that?
therapy. I'm looking
Yeah.
into it now.
Let me know about that because I'm not above seeking some help. Even though like I'm doing better, but like there's always room for improvement. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, 100%. So yeah, I'll let you know because I'm trying to find something that is affordable, but that I can kind of go to. My goal is to go to it like once or twice or once every week or once every 2 weeks, and then after that maybe once a month, just to try to like get it under control. But if I do find whatever I find, I'll get back with you too because I know that yeah, that's something I definitely need help with.
For
Um
sure. Yeah, thank you for
and
that.
nah, 100%. I wanted to ask you on a lighter topic. When did you figure out that you could rap?
Oh, you're funny. Man, I feel like I'm about to give you like the most basic ass story I could ever give
Okay,
somebody.
I'm here for it.
I was young once upon a time. That 8 Mile movie come out, boy, and I don't know. I decided, hey, I don't know, dude. I'm probably like 7, 8 years old at the time. Like I don't even understand nothing, but I knew I wanted to do what that white boy was doing in that movie. And I don't know, man. I grew up around a lot of different music, but um, rap was like always big, around me. And I what I found was as a kid I would write because like I didn't have a lot of friends, bro. Nobody wanted to kick it with me. Nobody liked hanging out with the big boy. So that I use that as therapy. Like not that I was good at like being a kid, but I found it as a good way to get my thoughts out. And it just kind of become a thing like through time. Like I knew some people in school, when I was growing up who like did music and they got me like involved and stuff like that. It's more so just a therapeutic thing for me. Um, so that's really like what it stems from for me. It's just a good way because I'm not a good talker. Like we talked about before this, bro. Like I was like, hey, can we do like an interview type style? Because I do not know how to just sit here and just talk about myself. Um, so it's just a way to feel like judgment free. Just get my thoughts out because I deal with a lot of depression and anxiety and general just overthinking, PTSD, like all the mental health stuff. Your boy checks off on a list, and it's just therapy for me. I don't know.
I love it. When I
Thank
scroll
you.
across the video and like, because sometimes, Zach will post to sounds or whatever, but sometimes when he works out, he'll post to him rapping. And I'm like, look at him. He's working out, changing his life, rapping. He's doing all
I
of
will
it.
tell you this. I will tell you this. I know because this is the thing. Like when I was younger, like I would put like some music on like SoundCloud and stuff like that. But like as far as like when I started my weight loss journey, I really had like no intention of like ever putting any of it out. But you ever just you ever just be searching for sounds for your video and you find yourself just like you just cannot find the right sound. I decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna start making my own motivational music because I'm tired of searching. And that was also a part of it. So I'm like, hey, you know what? This gets me in gear. Maybe to get somebody else in gear.
That's hey, but I love it. When I scroll across it, I'm like, that means not only changing his life, he's rapping about it too, and I love it. Okay, so going back into it, what do you think your favorite? Give me three of your favorite workouts to do right now.
Uh, Definitely the punching bag, obviously. Um, I've I like to do the sit to stand exercises. I just started these the other day. So my trainer had a session with me last week. I think it was last week. Um, he had me to because we do it on video chat, right? We're not in person yet. So I had set him up and he'd asked me like, "Do you have a chair?" And I'm like, "No, but I have this couch." I was trying to avoid it because it sits super low. Keep in mind that this also was like a little non-scale thing for me because I didn't know I could get up off the couch without like having to like hold on to the armrest and like all this. He told me like, "I want you to take two 10-pound dumbbells, sit your butt down, and stand up. I just want to see if you could do it." I didn't know I could do this. So once I learned that, not only can I get up off the couch without like holding on to something, I can hold extra weight and do this. It's like my favorite thing right now. And then also, just walking. Um, it's such a simple thing, but coming from 650 pounds to where I literally could not stand on my feet, but for like 1 to 3 minutes without feeling like I was absolutely just dying. Um, I love it. Just moving around, bro. Because at that weight, like I told you, like when I was laid up in the hospital, like I didn't know I would be able to do even like a quarter of the stuff like I'm doing now.
Right.
It just seemed like it was too far fetched of an idea. Like I've let myself go too far. I'll never be able to get back on my feet. So yeah, those are mine. Do you have three favorites?
Yeah, for sure. Um, Squats. I hate them with a
Yeah,
passion, but I love them at the same time because I feel like it helps my leg strength the most. And because of
absolutely.
where I came at with them, from where I started just sitting and then standing, and then now I can actually kind of bear my own weight and not have to sit down to do it. I think that's one of
Yeah,
my favorites right now. Um, it's got to be the infinity hoop. I think it's helped me a lot. Um, and you don't really think about it while you're doing it. Like you're not thinking about how much it hurts or like the difficulty of it because it's kind of I think it's a fun way to work out.
yeah,
Um and then I think now walking. Like I walked yesterday um without the walker as a workout for the first time. Um and tomorrow I'm going to go to a track and try to walk around a quarter mile and see how long I have to stop while I do it. And so I think walking, infinity hoop, and squats are probably my favorites right now because it just anything that shows me how far my mobility has came
yeah,
is gonna be my favorites for sure. It might hurt the most or it might be more difficult, but it definitely makes me feel better to know look what I can do now
yeah.
that I wasn't able to do before.
I think squats for people like us is underrated because you know it takes leg strength to get up, move these bodies around, man. It does. And I've learned to love squats. I used to hate them, dude, but like because they're hard, right? Like who wants to just like wake up and just do hard stuff all day long, right? Like that's crazy work. But at the same time, it being hard let me know like okay, I have an area of weakness here. And especially for me, like where I was born with clubfoot, um, that has always been like a hindrance to me. So I'm really focused on wanting to strengthen that now. Especially with like so like we were talking about like doing the 5K and like all that. Like I need my leg strength. It's cool to like lift weights and of course I love the cardio. That's going to help me probably more than anything. But
Right.
just as far as the exercise in general, man, like that leg strength, boy. Like once me and you get our leg strength up to where we need it to be,
Over.
unstoppable, bro. It's
Over.
over. It's over. They ain't ready for it, dog. They just ain't.
How do
Mm-mm.
you? We don't have to touch on this long, but how do you feel from when we talked about the 5K to now? Do you feel like you're still on track to be there?
Yeah, I want to do it. I will tell you, I've had moments where I've thought, because I will tell you this, whenever we first discovered it, right? And not that this is a problem, but I was pretty much like, hey, if you find one, like sign us up, you know what I mean? And you found one, and I will be honest with you, I didn't really look into it until like a couple weeks after. Um, Man, I ain't gonna lie, dog. It's one of like the hard ones, but that gives me like I like that because this is what my mind is set on. Like I don't like I want to finish it, right? I want to finish 5K, but at the end of the day, the fact that like we're gonna set out and do this, and bro, I don't care if we only get halfway. That's so much further than we probably like ever thought we could get.
Right.
That's still a win in my book, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact we're even gonna try something like this is crazy. And I'm here for it. I'm
Oh,
totally here for
I'm
it.
gonna let you know we're gonna finish it. I because I've had thoughts like that too,
Hmm.
and I've had my friend Brian. He's told me like once y'all get halfway, it's mental at that point. Like it's
Yeah.
all gonna be like, okay, just push through. And I will tell you because as November and December rolls around, I'm gonna start displaying it more, talking a lot more about it. There's gonna be a lot of people there to support us.
Oh
I
yeah.
can tell you that now. Like I can't tell you a number, but like I'm kind of keeping things on the down low for now.
Hmm.
I talked about it. I stopped, and once I know that I'm there, then like November, Decemberish, I'm gonna start rolling out with more information about it, and I think we're gonna have probably, if not over, I think we'll have around 100 people there.
Ooh, let's do it.
At,
Let's
at
do it.
least, at least. But I'm telling you, like, if we have that many people there and that many eyes on us,
Yeah.
like, we're
We
gonna
we
get
solid.
halfway. Like, we got to keep going. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
um, but so okay, I got like two more questions and then we can be done.
That's great.
So, what's your shirt size? Has it went down right recently, or
Yeah.
you?
I'm glad you asked me about this. Everybody been asking me about this lately. I started when I first started my weight loss journey, dude. I was wearing a 9XLT, which absolutely sounds insane to speak out loud to somebody. But a 9XLT. Um, so recently I had found some old shirts in my closet that are 7XLTs um from Lord knows when I was that size. Um that's what size I'm in now. Now people will flood my comments and tell me like, "Oh bro, even that's too loose on you." they don't understand my belly hang, and I don't like to just. Some people's comfortable just letting their belly hang out. That's fine. I ain't trying to go out like that. So I consider myself in a 7XLT right now, which is still a plus, right? Coming from 9XLT, hey, that's a
100%.
that's a win in my book, big dog.
100%. 100%.
What about you? Have you noticed any differences like in your clothing sizes and stuff like that since you've been really killing it?
Oh, for sure. I went from I started in 6XL, and um now I'm down to 5, and shorts it's right around 5. Um but I've seen a lot of changes, right? A
Hmm.
lot of changes. And that's the biggest thing. The mobility changes and the shirt changes have been like the best for me.
Absolutely.
So I got one more question, and then we can be done. So you've seen the Infinity Hoop videos, right?
Hmm.
Would you ever be interested in that or no? Be
So
honest.
okay, no, I'll be straight up honest with you. I I want to be so transparent with you. I probably shouldn't talk about this on live, but it's okay. So they've actually reached out to me. They reached out to me like a week ago. Um, I'm iffy about it. I'm iffy about it. I wanted take them up on their offer and like work with them. I think they're a great company and I think what they do is great. I personally feel like it's a little off brand for me.
Right.
Um, which is also weird to even like say out loud, but that's
Nah,
even a
you're
thing.
good. Nah,
But
you're good.
um, so I don't know, man. Like I want to do it, but I feel like my heart's not into it. If I'm being totally transparent with you, like we don't have to get into like details, but I'm sure like they reach out to you with like the same thing they probably reach out to me about. If I did it, I would only feel like I'm doing it for like monetary reasons. And I just my heart's just not in it, you know. But I
That's
love the
valid.
company.
That's
Like I think
valid.
they're great for sure. You know what I mean? I just feel like it ain't for me.
How come we can't watch Zach? You can. I also want to tell all of y'all, if y'all are in here, please click on Zach's name and follow him, and let me know when you do follow him. Zach doesn't go live
If y'all follow me, I'll follow you
that
back.
often, huh?
I was telling them I'll follow y'all back if y'all follow me.
Oh yeah, he will. He will. But he doesn't go live that often. But he does. He posts a lot of content every day, and he is he's super inspirational. So where I want to go from this, and something I'm surprising you with is I'm going to. I just have to get you privately to send me your address. I know you're in 7XLT now, and that's fine. FCP has some shirts that she wants to send you,
Really?
and I live with her. But
Wow.
but also, I'm gonna send you two 6XLT champion shirts,
I
and
love you, dog.
we're gonna work with that, and we're gonna see. And if they fit, they fit, and you like them. If not, they're gonna fit soon.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's number one. Also, I don't know how it would work with the club foot, and we can work together on that too. But I want to get you a nice pair of New Balances because that's what I'm in now. And they have these fresh foam ones that I found that help me a lot when I'm walking. And that's what I want to do for each person I bring up here is to leave them with something that they can work towards. And so the 6XLT champion shirt, um, because you are a champion in my eyes. I'm not even sponsored by them at all, but I wear this brand pretty much every day of my life, and it tells me that I'm a champion, and it looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get you two of these shirts.
Man.
whatever pair of the fresh foam New Balances you want, whatever size, whatever it is. We're gonna work together and get you hooked up on that. I'm super super thankful that you were my first guest. I'm gonna let y'all know. We're gonna let Zach say something here in a second, just to get his last words in. Um, but I'm so thankful that he was my first guest. We're gonna start doing this every Saturday, around 2-3 p.m. So Zach was our first one. I already have the next one in mind. I just have to reach out to them. So Zach, you tell me and the people whatever you want to leave out on, and that'll be where we end it.
Are you sure, Vet? You ain't gotta do that. That means so much to me, dog.
100%.
For real. Bro, I love you. For real. Thank you so much for everything. Um, Other than that, I want to tell all y'all watching, I see your comments. I've just been trying to be respectful to Tay and his time and not pay that much attention to them. But I see you guys and I love you so much. Thank you for your support and your encouragement. Like it means more than I really know how to express to you guys. So thank you. And Tay, again, thank you for letting me come up and, let people know about me a little bit, man. It means a lot to me. For real. Especially being your first guest, dog. Truly
Had to be.
blessed.
Had to be my first guest, and
You're the man.
for sure. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day at work.
I appreciate you, brother. Definitely stay in touch. I'll holler at you in a little bit.
Got you.
All right, man. Y'all be good.
All right.